this is Mary Claire Baden with the Besl, Baden, and Christy Jones team. I'm here today with Sue Besl Price, coming back with our monthly real estate update. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to make you the most competitive buyer in today's competitive market. We're also going to be talking about how we handle multiple offers from the seller perspective. So I want to go ahead and jump right into it. Obviously, we know it's a competitive market, so we want to talk about some things that we have found that work well for our buyers in terms of getting that winning offer. First thing is, when we have a buyer interested in a listing, we call the listing agent and see what terms are important to that seller, because it might not always be the highest price. Although it usually is, it might not be. So first things first is price. So we always want to go ahead and talk about that, first in terms of a competitive offer. The second thing we like to see is high earnest money. Earnest money shows that you're serious about buying the house. So the more you put down, that shows the more serious you are. One thing in terms of financing that we found works really well, and it depends on the lender you're working with, is getting what we call pre-underwritten, which allows you to close in a faster time frame, but it also shows that you're a low-risk buyer. So sellers want to see that. It makes you closer or more competitive to a cash buyer. The next thing we like to talk about is inspections. As an agent, we would never recommend that you waive your inspections. However, we do find that buyers will do inspections for what we call informational purposes only. Essentially, a quick summary is that you're not going to ask the seller to fix anything. You're accepting the home as is, given that there is nothing that is affecting the structural integrity of the house and that there's no hazardous material in the house. The last thing that we find can be very helpful, and again goes back to learning the seller situation, is closing date and occupancy. Do they want to close fast? Do they need more time? Or do they want to close and then have some extra time to live in the house, be able to move out, or be able to find another house? So that's a really quick overview. It really depends house by house basis. So that's where we come into it and would love to help you with that. So Sue's gonna go ahead and take over from the seller perspective.
Right, so thanks Mary Claire. So Sue Besl Price, and so for the sellers, as Mary is saying, crafting an offer can be really difficult to try to get the best offer. Imagine being on the other side and being the seller and receiving 18 offers like we did a couple weeks ago. So how do we do that? How the sellers can be completely overwhelmed. How do you pick the best offer? So what we do is we really work with our clients. We put together an Excel spreadsheet, and as Mary Claire did say, not always is it price, because you've got to make sure that the house appraises. You've got to make sure that the seller, you have somewhere to go after as well. So these are all the things that we work with our sellers. So it's just not, here are the offers, choose one. We really educate them and guide them through the process. So what I would say, just learning about this, just from the buyer's end and the seller. Well, one of the things too is on the seller's end, how do you prepare for all these showings? Because you've got a lot of people coming in. So again, we really work with our sellers to make sure that we can get people in a timely fashion, and we can get the offers in a timely fashion. So it could be from Friday to Sunday and their house is sold. So these are the things that we work with. The number one thing coming out of this that I would want to say, if you're a buyer or if you're a seller, you really need the expertise of a real estate agent in this market. We see a lot of for sale by owners that think they can sell on their own, and they're kind of lost. So that's the one thing. If you don't choose us, make sure you do choose a real estate agent that can guide you through this market. Thanks again.
Awesome. So those are our quick tips this month. We're looking forward to coming to you next month. Next month, we're going to be giving you an update on some of the new developments going on in the area and some of the developments and market updates just in general in the Cincinnati area. So looking forward to it, guys.